Most investors believe commission-free means free. It doesn't. You may not pay a visible commission anymore, but that does not mean the trade is costless. The cost can show up in idle cash, order routing, weak execution, transfer fees, or tools that push you toward trading instead of planning. After 12 months of putting my own money across 5 major platforms, I can show you where those costs hide and which broker actually protects the long-term investor best. For the last year, I put my own money across 5 of the biggest brokerage platforms in America: Fidelity Investments, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, Robinhood, and Webull. Same deposits, same stocks, same ETFs, same timing, down to the hour when possible. I wanted to cut past the Super Bowl ads, the IRA match bonuses, the sleek mobile apps, and the zero commission marketing, and find out which platform actually serves the investor best. Yes, I left Vanguard out on purpose. This test is about active brokerage ecosystems, not mutual fund families. 5 rounds ahead: cash management, order execution, research depth, retirement tools, and service and trust. Then a final 6th factor that decided the whole thing. Only one broker won. The cash trap. Here's the first hidden cost almost nobody checks: what your broker does with the money you haven't invested yet. When cash sits in your account, between trades, waiting for your next buy, or parked as a retirement buffer, your broker has a choice. They can pay you a competitive rate, or they can pay you almost nothing while earning more on that cash elsewhere. This is one of the quietest ways a broker can benefit from investor inattention. At Fidelity Investments, uninvested brokerage cash can automatically sweep into SPACs, the Fidelity Government Money Market Fund. Its current 7-day yield is around 3.3%. No subscription, no extra steps. You deposit money, and your idle cash can start earning a competitive money market yield by default. Now compare that to Charles Schwab. Schwab's default brokerage cash sweep is around 0.01% APY. To get a competitive yield, you usually have to manually buy a Schwab money market fund yourself, such as SNOX or another available option. That is not hard for experienced investors, but many casual investors never do it. They leave cash in the default sweep and quietly give up interest. Run the math on a $50,000 cash position, realistic for someone nearing retirement, holding dry powder, or keeping a liquidity buffer. At roughly 3.3%, that cash earns about $1,650 a year. At Schwab's 0.01% default sweep, it earns about $5. That's a gap of roughly $1,645 every year for doing nothing different except letting one broker handle idle cash better by default. Robinhood offers competitive cash yield through Robinhood Gold, which costs about $50 a year if paid annually. That may still be worth it, but it is not the same as a strong default sweep for every standard customer. Webull also ties higher cash yields to its premium-style ecosystem. E-Trade's basic sweep also tends to lag Fidelity's automatic money market setup unless you actively move cash yourself. This is not a rounding error. For an investor keeping $100,000 in liquidity, the difference between a strong cash setup and a lazy default can approach several $1,000s a year. Over a decade, that can become tens of thousands of dollars. Round 1 goes to Fidelity, and it isn't close. The hidden tax. Now let's talk about the biggest misunderstanding in modern investing: commission-free trading. When a broker tells you trades are free, somebody is still making money somewhere. If you are not writing a commission check, revenue is coming from another part of the system. When you click buy, your broker has to route your order somewhere. It can send it to a public exchange like NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, or it can route it to a private market maker who fills the order and may pay the broker for that order flow. The industry term is payment for order flow, or PFOF. The issue is not that PFOF automatically means you get a bad execution. Brokers still have a best execution obligation. The issue is the conflict. When your broker receives payment from the venue handling your trade, the broker has 2 interests in the room: your execution quality and its own routing revenue. Those interests may not always point in the same direction. You might lose only a tiny amount on one trade, a fraction of a cent per share, or a few dollars on a larger order. You will never see it as a line item. But across millions of trades, small execution differences become real money. Robinhood and Webull have historically relied heavily on PFOF as part of their zero-commission model. Charles Schwab accepts PFOF. E-Trade through Morgan Stanley also accepts PFOF in its order routing structure. These are mainstream firms using a legal, disclosed, but conflicted practice. Fidelity Investments stands apart in one specific way. Fidelity does not accept PFOF on stock and ETF trades. That is a deliberate structural choice, and it means Fidelity gives up a revenue stream many competitors use. Fidelity Investments also reports strong execution quality numbers. Their published data shows average savings of roughly $26 per 1,000 share equity order, compared with an industry figure closer to $5. That does not mean every investor saves huge money on every trade. It means the routing structure is more investor-aligned than platforms that monetize order flow directly. For someone rebalancing a 6- or 7-figure portfolio or buying ETFs regularly for decades, execution quality is not just a technical detail. It can reduce returns without looking like a fee. Round 2, Fidelity again. Research depth. A broker without real research is just a button for placing trades. If you're watching this video, you're probably past that stage. You want to make smarter decisions, not just faster ones. Robinhood gives you headlines, a clean chart, analyst ratings, basic stats, and a simple interface. That is useful if you already know what you want to buy. But it is thin if you want to compare ETFs seriously, study fund construction, evaluate dividend quality, or build a retirement portfolio based on more than surface numbers. Webull is a noticeable step up, especially for active traders. It has strong technical charting, screeners, paper trading, and a deeper market interface than Robinhood. But the ecosystem still leans toward price action, options, and short-term decisions, not long-term portfolio construction, retirement income, or ETF methodology. E-Trade deserves more credit than many people give it. Since joining Morgan Stanley E-Trade, users have access to deeper research and a more serious institutional ecosystem. Global market outlooks, analyst commentary, fixed income tools, and Morgan Stanley research make E-Trade a legitimate platform for serious investors. Then there are Charles Schwab and Fidelity Investments, the two heavyweights. Schwab is excellent. The Thinkorswim platform from the TD Ameritrade merger is one of the best technical trading environments available to regular investors. If you want professional-grade charting, options analytics, advanced order types, and active trading tools, Schwab is elite. But Fidelity Investments wins this round for the investor this channel is built around. Fidelity's platform combines stock research, ETF screeners, fund comparison tools, retirement calculators, bond resources, analyst reports, and portfolio planning features in one ecosystem. You can stay simple, or you can drill down for hours. That matters because long-term investors need different tools than short-term traders. You need to research holdings, expense ratios, dividend history, concentration risk, valuation, and how the investment fits an actual retirement plan. For ETFs, dividend growth, retirement modeling, and income planning, Fidelity's research ecosystem was the most useful I encountered in 12 months of side-by-side testing. Round 3. Fidelity. Charles Schwab is a strong second. Retirement tools. This is where the fintech apps quietly fall apart. Investing changes after age 55. The accumulation phase, dollar cost averaging, reinvesting dividends, building the portfolio, slowly gives way to something harder, distribution. Taking money out without wrecking your tax bill, pushing yourself into higher brackets, or leaving a mess for your spouse or kids. Required minimum distributions are a perfect example. Miss an RMD and the IRS can impose a 25% excise tax on the amount you failed to withdraw. If corrected in time, that penalty may be reduced to 10%. Fidelity Investments and Charles Schwab both offer RMD tools, calculators, inherited IRA resources, distribution support, and retirement planning workflows. These are not bonus features. For retirees, they are infrastructure. Estate planning goes deeper. Beneficiary designations and transfer on death instructions matter because brokerage beneficiary designations can override what people think their will says. Get that wrong, and heirs can end up fighting over assets you thought were already settled. Fidelity Investments and Charles Schwab provide stronger beneficiary dashboards, estate planning context, and account transition support than app-first platforms. Robinhood and Webull have improved. Robinhood offers beneficiary and transfer on death functionality, but having a feature is not the same as having a mature retirement ecosystem. Legacy brokers still provide broader account types, deeper guidance, human support, and better workflows for families managing real wealth. Fixed income is another gap. If you want to build a bond ladder, treasury securities, CDs, or municipal bonds generating retirement income, Robinhood does not offer individual bonds like a full-service brokerage. Webull is not meaningfully better for serious bond investors. E-Trade, however, has strong bond tools, screeners, and ladder building features. For the investor in the second half of life, this round is not close. Fintech apps can be useful for simple investing, but they were not built around distribution, inherited IRAs, RMDs, estate transition, bond ladders, and long-term household planning. Round 4, Fidelity Investments and Charles Schwab take the top spot. E-Trade earns a real second place for bond-focused investors. Service and trust. When something goes wrong with your life savings, you do not want to fight a chatbot. You want a human being with a license on a phone right now. Fidelity Investments and Charles Schwab both offer broad phone support, licensed representatives, and physical branches. Schwab has more than 400 branches nationwide. Fidelity has roughly 200 investor centers. E-Trade benefits from Morgan Stanley's broader ecosystem, while Robinhood and Webull rely much more on digital-first support. That matters because brokerage problems are not always small. A frozen account, suspicious login, failed transfer, beneficiary issue, inherited IRA problem, RMD mistake, or cost basis error can involve real money and real stress. A clean app is nice when everything works. It is not enough when something breaks. Both legacy giants have also dealt with security-related incidents. Fidelity Investments disclosed a breach affecting roughly 77,000 individuals. Charles Schwab was tied to the Move It incident through TD Ameritrade client data, affecting roughly 61,000 clients. These events are not good, but large legacy brokers generally have established escalation processes, compliance teams, identity restoration support, and regulated service infrastructure. Charles Schwab has one clear edge: a formal satisfaction guarantee that may refund eligible fees if you are dissatisfied with service. Schwab also felt the most consistently responsive in my own testing. That is a real advantage. Round 5, Schwab takes the win with Fidelity Investments on a strong second place. The deciding factor. Now here's what I promised earlier. The real factor that decided this entire test. I call it alignment, not as a legal label, not as a claim that every brokerage relationship is automatically fiduciary in the formal sense. I mean something more practical. How much of the broker's business model depends on the investor not paying attention? Every broker here has strengths. Charles Schwab has elite trading tools and great service. E-Trade has fixed income depth and Morgan Stanley research. Robinhood is simple. Webull is powerful for active traders. But when I looked at the full structure, cash, order routing, transfer fees, research, retirement tools, and service, one broker had fewer obvious conflicts working against the long-term investor. So here's the final scorecard after 12 months of real testing. Fidelity won round 1 on cash management, round 2 on order execution, round 3 on research depth, round 4 on retirement tools, tied with Schwab. Round 6, the one that matters most, belongs to Fidelity alone. Schwab is a strong runner-up, especially for active traders who want thinkorswim and appreciate a large branch network. E-Trade is a legitimate third choice if fixed income is your focus. Robinhood and Webull are useful tools for some investors, but they are not the strongest choice for protecting a serious long-term retirement portfolio.